witches, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucca, and today we are building yet another tiny home in The Sims 4. So today we're building in Strangerville. This is on a 20 by 15 lot. It is like this little trailer park area, and it is called Slip 42. It is a really nice area, honestly. I really enjoy the world of Strangerville regardless, because it's just this, grungy, deserty kind of vibe. It's kind of southern western kind of atmospheric, and I love the vibes so much. Today I am building a kind of dark witch trailer home, and so this one's kind of like a witchy kind of vibes trailer home, but I try to keep it in line with the world a little bit. I wanted it to make sense with the world, and so yeah, I just kind of whipped this up, and I really liked it. I loved all the details that I added into it. I wanted to kind of make it look still witchy and dark, but I wanted it to look really run down and very lived in. I wanted a lot of the things to look very like rustic and just kind of, like the tin roof and the tires on the roof. I've seen those in my area before. I don't live in an area anywhere like this, of course, but growing up I lived in eastern Kentucky, and so I saw quite a few trailers, and I remember seeing some with like tires on the roof for some reason. It was like to hold down like the roofing or something or other. I'm not really sure, but yes, I am building in my save file. So I have talked about this in the past, but just to give you a brief little overview, I am just building a bunch of homes and other kinds of lots for The Sims 4 and just filling up the entirety of the world with my own saves, with my own families, with my own households and houses, lots, community lots, you name it. And I'm just having a lot of fun with it lately. I've been really enjoying just sitting down and planning it out. I've been sitting down and just like going on spreadsheets, going even on Notion and all sorts of other stuff, and just kind of figuring out what I want to do for each world. And obviously in some cases, it's better for me to just kind of like plan it on the spot and just kind of just be like, okay, what do I want to do today? But sometimes it's nice to kind of have a structure to kind of fall on whenever you're like stuck with ideas. So I've been doing that a lot lately, just in general, of course, not just with my save file, but just in general of like planning out videos and series ideas, which I do have some ideas planned for the future. I know I'm kind of in a weird transitional period right now. I've started a new job, and so YouTube has kind of been put on the back burner a little bit, but I am going to be starting some new series in the future. I think I have one that I have planned that I'm already going to sit down and plan out so that I can just kind of like, kind of go into it with like some kind of outline in mind. But I also have one that I just kind of came up with on the spot just like a little bit ago, and I was like, I started recording it and I was like, you know what, this feels good. This feels like a natural flow. This feels like I can kind of, hone in on this without, overdoing it. But I am rambling about nonsense again instead of talking about the build. But as you see, the front porch, I made sure to kind of give it some privacy with the spandreling from the Snowy Escape pack, and then I used these really cool like wall beads that you actually get in the City Living pack. They're intended for like a wall decoration item, but I've done this quite a bit in the past where you use them, you like place down a wall, and then you place down where you want these, and then you get rid of the wall so that it kind of like looks like it's a dangly little curtain. You can use them as curtains too, which I think is pretty cool, but I really like using them on the front porch here because it kind of enclosed the space a little bit. And I kind of went with a different color scheme here in this build, because a lot of the times I'll go with like a lot of greens and browns and natural earthy tones for witchy builds, but this one I went with more like dark blues and black and purple, but also touches of this really light wood. I don't know why, but I think it works really well. I also use this blue fence as well for just to surround a little bit of a yard, because I thought it made sense here in this trailer park to have a kind of fenced in area that's specifically for this trailer, because you can kind of see around the lot, like the trailers kind of have their own spaces kind of designated. So I thought that would make sense here, and it definitely kind of stands out, I will say. But I feel like that's the point of this little area here, is just to kind of have weird and wacky Sims live here, and I think it would be perfect for this kind of, you know, magical kind of, you know, witchy Sim that also is kind of into space. Maybe I kind of so I have this list of witchy builds that I want to do, and one of them was a cosmic witch, and I kind of had that in mind with this build. It wasn't like overtly like a cosmic witch, but I can see them doing a lot of, like, you know, horoscopes and tarot reading for, you know, the people in the town, and, you know, they also do a lot of, you know, planetary studies and stuff. So I don't know. I can see that in my head at least. But yeah, that's to each their own. That's why I kind of like to, whenever I do these builds, I try to not have too much of an idea in mind, because sometimes it changes and sometimes it evolves. And so maybe once I go make the sim for this one here, it'll be a different kind of sim. Who knows? But that's just kind of the idea, or at least the jumping off point that I had. I really liked the landscaping. I know it doesn't quite make sense with the area, but you know, maybe they're trying to keep it looking nice, and I probably should have added some more like dead grass and kind of cut back on this, you know, green space. But hey, maybe here's just a thought. Maybe they are magical, and maybe their magic keeps it alive or something. Who knows? That's gonna be some lore. Who knows? I mean, yeah, we'll say that. But regardless, I think it looks really nice. You know me, I always have to have lavender, and I'm just now noticing. Wow. Okay, I'm just now noticing. So you know those like butterfly decorative objects that you can place, that they're like wall items, and I believe they're from the kids room pack. They glow by the looks of it, which I think is pretty cool. I never noticed that until just now when I'm like looking at my footage back there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love just finding little random things like that in The Sims. It's really, really fun. But I did go with, you know, the lavender around, you know, plant lavender for luck. We all know, if you know, you know. But speaking of which, total departure from my little build here. I recently bought something that I am so excited to put on. I bought a sticker for my rear view mirror in my car, which I just got a new car. But it's really cool because it is so specific to me, and I'm so excited. It is just a plain sticker with just like some normal white font, and it says, the belladonna is in my bag. And if you know where that's from the Practical Magic movie with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. My true favorite movie, my favorite everything in the world. It's one of my, you know, favorite movies, and I based my name, Lucca Owens, off of Practical Magic. So I'm so excited to put that on there, because I also have 2 little fake brooms hanging from my rearview mirror, and I just plan on doing a lot more witchy things to my car, I think. But yeah, every time I place down lavender in any of my builds, I'm thinking of Practical Magic. I'm not joking. Like, I will literally be like, ooh, plant lavender for luck. Like, that's what goes on in my head. It's just, I don't know. I think that's one of the things that really stood out to me in that movie, because it's towards the end of the movie. It's like at the very end, whenever she's kind of like doing her little, Sally is doing her little voiceover speech monologue. Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. But yeah, that's one of the things she says, and it's always kind of stood out to me for some reason. Moving on to the interior of the little trailer home. It is a trailer home, like it is titled, so it's very small. It is technically a tiny home, like interior wise, but I usually turn the tiny house residential like lot restrictions off, just because it's kind of annoying having, you know that it's like a small tiny house, it's a micro house, but you have to use like room pieces for like trim and all that stuff, and yeah, it just kind of defeats the purpose, I think, personally. So I actually just decided to just nix it, and yeah, I really, really love the interior of this trailer. I went really, really dark and really, really just textured and old and just, I don't know, I can't really describe the style other than dark witch. It's so fun. And I try to keep like the blues and some dark teals like the refrigerator. I went with a lot of purple accents, of course. Used incorrectly, purple can be very gaudy, but I think it works very well here because it's kind of accented throughout the house, but it's not like purple everything, of course. So I just use the same like the panels, the what is it called, planks on the walls there that I did on the exterior. I used them on the interior. I thought it just kind of added to that dark witchy vibe so much more. So it is from the Spooky Day stuff, which that pack is probably kind of pointless, especially if you have seasons, because a lot of the stuff in that pack is just redone in seasons, but with a slightly different color variation. But yeah, I do recommend it just for the wallpaper and the flooring because, it's nice. It's got some texture. It's got a really nice array of colors, which is really good, especially this one because there is like a shine to it, which I don't think is necessarily intentional, but it looks cool. Like it kind of adds some like color variation to it as well. So yeah, I really like it. And I'm just kind of making the kitchen work here. It's very tight. It's a very small kitchen, but I really love how there's these curtains that are kind of like separating the kitchen from the bedroom space. And I use the same spandreling from the front porch as well on the interior of this house. And I thought that made it worked so well because the spandreling from Snowy Escape is really cool because there's different variations of it. I don't know why it took me so long to say that, but the variations of it, there's like some solid ones, and then there's some that you can kind of like see through, and then there's like more artsy kind of detailed ones. There's this solid black one that's so perfect for like separating rooms a little bit more, because that's the point of spandrels, is to kind of create a divide between rooms. It's kind of like beams, and so it's perfect because if you don't want a full wall or a half wall or anything, it kind of works. And I put the desk right here as you kind of walk through the kitchen to the bedroom. There's this little desk. I get pretty indecisive in the beginning, but I found this desk from the base game that works really well, and I was like, I can't not use this chair from the vampire game pack because it just kind of fits that witchy dark vibe, and it has that purple accent. So it just kind of, there's little accents of purple kind of carried throughout the build, and I really like that about it. Also, yes, I am recording this at night. It is almost 10 p.m., which this is completely unheard of me, y'all. I'm used to recording my stuff like super early in the day, but with my schedule being kind of scattered around and, my creative process being, messed up, and me also kind of going through a slight bit of creative burnout, I've been kind of all over the place. And I finally just got their energy just now, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to record this voiceover. It's been a very long time. I hope y'all have, still been enjoying the videos as few as they have been coming out lately. I've been really, enjoying what I have been making. It's just been, few and far between, but yeah, I'm slowly going to put myself back into making content again because I did start a new job. I will probably talk about that some other time, but it's a photography job, which I think is really cool. It's nothing, crazy. It's still retail, but I'm really excited for this job to kind of teach me a lot of things about, photography. And I don't know, it's a creative field, and that's what I've always wanted to kind of pursue. And I think this is a really good step towards that. So, but yeah, anyways, I love the bedroom. I love the bedroom so much. I used the bed from the City Living pack, and I think the curtains on like the 4-poster bed just kind of set the mood in here. It's just, I feel like if I used any other bed, it wouldn't look right because the curtains kind of add a little bit more of a brightness to the space, and it also kind of just softens it a little bit. I don't know. I feel like that makes sense in my head. But yeah, I always love using that bed anyways, and anytime I can use that bed, I'm going to use that bed. So I think it fits really well in here. And I think adding like a lot of like candles and, touches of flowers and just like plants and just like brightness, like I feel like it really contrasts beautifully with the kind of panels, like I keep on wanting to call them panels. They're planks on the walls and the dark flooring, the dark carpets. I feel like all of that really like kind of sets it apart really nicely. And it's just, I don't know, it's a dark, witchy build, but it doesn't feel like dark and cold. It feels kind of like cozy and still kind of dark, but in a good way. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I did upload this to the gallery. I remember this time. And it's under the hashtag Lucca, as well as my username, Lucca Owens. That is all one word. It is LuccaOwens. And this information will be found in the description down below if you had trouble hearing that, or, you need to just kind of have a refresher. It's in the description. But yeah, do let me know in the comments any kind of witchy builds that you would like for me to see. I have a list on my Notion app that I have saved right now, so do let me know if you have any suggestions. And yeah, if you have any other suggestions for this save file as well, do let me know. Is there any like community lots that you would like to see in The Sims that are kind of different, that you think that would appeal to my building style, like magical, witchy, grungy, urban, dark, like that kind of stuff. I like things that aren't so normal and traditional, but yeah, that is pretty much everything. If you want to support me more on this channel, please just hit the like button, as well as subscribe if you are new. I know some of y'all aren't subscribed that are watching right now. It's fine, but please subscribe. That would be very, very helpful to me. But I love you all. Take care of yourselves, and that is everything. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I will speak to you all next time. Goodbye, witches.